Exactly how many rabbits were on that field is still debated. Some sources say 300, others say 3,000. But one thing is certain. Every single one of them charged toward the same target at the same moment. And that target was Napoleon Bonaparte, the conqueror of Europe, the man who on that day had to flee from a rabbit hunt. July 1807. Napoleon had just signed the Treaty of Tilsit. Russia had made peace. Prussia had been crushed. The map of Europe was redrawn entirely to his liking. To celebrate, he ordered a grand hunting party. Hundreds of guests, generals, diplomats, palace officials, an outdoor victory feast with a hunt at its center. Napoleon was passionate about hunting. Just like on the battlefield, he wanted to dominate the field too. He handed the organization to his chief of staff, Alexandre Berthier. Berthier was a brilliant planner. He arranged everything down to the last detail. The guests, the food, the weapons, and the exact number of rabbits to be released onto the field. And this is precisely where things went wrong. Berthier gave the men tasked with gathering the rabbits a single instruction. Hundreds of rabbits, fast. The men delivered. But nobody thought to ask one question. Were these rabbits wild or domesticated? A wild rabbit runs from people. It scatters into the woods. The hunt becomes exciting. A domesticated rabbit runs toward people, because people have always meant food. And when hundreds of cage-raised rabbits were released onto that field, every single one of them did exactly that. They charged straight toward the nearest human being. That human being was Napoleon. At first people laughed. A few rabbits hopping toward the emperor's boots seemed amusing. But then more came. And then hundreds more after that. Within minutes, the entire field was a moving carpet of rabbits surging forward with surprising speed and absolutely no intention of stopping. Napoleon's attendants waved their arms and shouted. Nothing worked. His guards formed a loose perimeter. Generals who had held firm against cannon fire found themselves stepping back from a wall of small, furry bodies. Napoleon swung his riding crop. He stepped forward. The rabbits parted for a moment, then immediately closed back in around him. In the end, Napoleon did the only thing left to do. He retreated to his carriage. The man who had faced down the armies of half a continent climbed into his coach and ordered the driver to move. Even then, dozens of rabbits chased the carriage down the road before finally losing interest. The hunting party was over. Court records noted only that the hunt had been unsuccessful. Berthier was quietly blamed. The guests pretended not to have seen what they had seen, but they had all seen it. History remembers Napoleon as the man who reshaped Europe, outmaneuvered kings, and turned military strategy into an art form. All of that is true. But on one summer afternoon in 1807, at the height of his power, a few hundred hungry rabbits sent him running. Not every enemy carries a sword. Not every defeat happens on a battlefield. And sometimes the most powerful man in the world is undone by one forgotten question: wild or domesticated?